some of the nicest plants we've ever grown. Some of these are between 8 to 12 feet, and we couldn't be happier about seeing this organic system really work the way it did.
You know, there no pesticides were involved. It truly, you know, worked. The system worked itself. You know, and the least amount of work we've ever put for any sort of, you know,
any cultivation, any of our professional operations. So, one of the big things too is people forget that there is a very important medical side to this. Again, that property was designed for a medical reason for this Vietnam veteran, and the medical cannabis movement, it's quickly becoming a huge medical phenomenon worldwide. You have Forbes and other big publication companies writing articles about, I mean, the European Parliament just passed a resolution, and it joins the World Health Organization in supporting medical marijuana. So things are evolving really, really rapidly. There's a U.S. Farm Bill on the Senate that'll make CBD production legal and cheaper throughout the entire U.S. If you really want more information, you'd be surprised to know that there's thousands of articles ranging from the history of CBD. It's a really good article that you can find. There's actually U.S. patents. This one, phytocannabinoids in the treatment of cancer. You can actually pull that up with a Google search. This one was actually filed by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. So even the U.S. government in 2003 filed a medical patent, and it's called Cannabinoids as Antioxidants and Neuroprotectants. And it investigates ways of counteracting Alzheimer's disease or neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's disease with cannabinoids, with plant cannabinoids. There's lists of U.S. patents that you can find on the U.S. Patent House. You can, again, Google search these and pull them up yourselves, have your scientific teams look at them. And yeah, there's really powerful discoveries that are being made in cannabis research week to week, if not day to day. There's famous scientists in Spain, in Israel, all over the world that are doing some groundbreaking research, and this is something that's going to be a game changer for the medical world in the next 20, 30, 100 years even. But I do want to talk about some of the medical research I've done in California. I used to work with Elemental Wellness. It's a pretty big cannabis collective. And there was a time where we had a medical consultation program. This is their chart that they put out. You can actually pull this up on via PDF. It's actually being used worldwide to showcase what some of the powerful effects of cannabinoids actually can do. But going back to the private consultation program in San Jose, there was a collective where we actually took patients from various institutions, whether it was Kaiser or nursing homes or San Jose State University, Stanford University, and we saw over 1,000 patients in 2 years, each of them with unique ailments and symptoms ranging from cancer to epilepsy, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, PTSD, multiple sclerosis, anxiety and depression, HIV/AIDS, plus many more. And we got to see firsthand how cannabis would actually improve the quality of life for many of these individuals, most if not all. And our program sought to advise them on what medical cannabis products would most help them, so that we could hopefully enable them, and then they would come back and let us know what was working. And we do have some of that data. But long story short, because I could spend hours on this, long story short, the results that we saw were really, really eye-opening and life-changing, not just for the patients, but for the people working at the collective, because it gave us something to believe in, and it really opened our eyes as to what this plant could really do for people. For us personally, we're really fortunate to be cultivating medical cannabis, and this was a project that I know, George, you hopped on, we both hopped on this, and we couldn't be happier with how this had turned out, because it's easily some of the best bud that we've grown using the organic system that you talked about. And it beats out a lot of professional and industrial operations right now, some of the best industrial operations. So
with the least amount of work, and you know, the least amount of ecological, you know,
harm,
impact on the earth, you know, and you know, it's all hands off, you know.
Yeah. So, I mean, cannabis is already one of the next big things, and realistically, Mexico can easily become a worldwide leader. We had talked about Mexico's history as an agricultural giant, and it stands to benefit the Mexican people to really look at this seriously. There's benefits to the economy, new jobs for Mexican farmers, new jobs for everyone as the industry grows. Benefits the worldwide movement of sustainability, keeping the nature of Mexico healthy and beautiful. And it benefits the medical industry overall of Mexico. There's new research opportunities, better herbal medicine with CBD and other cannabinoids, and an overall healthier people. So, we hope you enjoyed this presentation. We're both really passionate about what we do, and an opportunity like Bacchus to help bring cannabis cultivation to Mexico is really, really huge, and we'd love nothing more than to be a part of it and share our knowledge. So
we'd love that Mexico could lead the way in this kind of agriculture and this kind of farming, and we hope that Bacchus can really be ahead of pushing that kind of a ecological
and
benefit sustainable benefit for the world. Thank you. I'm George Corey, and
I'm Danny G. I'm Danny Godwin. If there's any more questions, we'd be happy to do a follow-up video, or you can field them to Bacchus, and we'd be happy to answer more questions. But thank you for your time.
Thank you.
So I ordered that. Cool. It's 18 minutes.